Welcome to Yours, Mine, Our Children, a weekly talk show where youth and teens have deep discussions about real life issues.
Hello and good afternoon. It's your girl Felicia J. And if I tell you guys, I am so ecstatic. I am super excited about this opportunity that we're about to bring to the forefront. This is an amazing time in society, in the world today, as we're all anteing up and I guess you can say hustling up and doing our own thing in society to make the world better. And here I am sitting today because we're about to bring something to the table that I don't think you've probably ever seen before. Like, this is an opportunity for youth and teens to come sit down with me, talk about the things that they've experienced in life, tell us what they're going through. We're going to help them solve some of these problems and perhaps maybe even impact their lives to go back into their campuses at school or at home or on the sports team and do better. And so I'm ecstatic, y'all. I am very pleased to present to you the YMOC show. Hey guys, it's your girl Felicia J, and I am super excited to be here today with my panel of youth and teens. Hey guys, hey. How y'all doing? Good. Everybody's good. Y'all, this is an amazing opportunity to bring youth and teens to the table. This is none other than YMOC Speaks, Yours, Mine, Our Children. They're going to speak up, speak out, and speak about the things that they encounter on a day-to-day basis. Are you guys excited about this opportunity to have your voices heard? Yes. How do y'all feel about this? It's like this amazing opportunity to push buttons and say, hey guys, our voices are important in the world today. Yes. Y'all feel good about that? So this is what this is all about. We are bringing our youth and teens to the table. My goal is to push this out every Monday night at 7:30 p.m. Invite your friends, invite your families, but most importantly, bring those children to the table. Let them sit down and let them hear the things that we're going to be talking about this month. It's going to be strictly on peer pressure. I got some thoughts that peer pressure is going to really and truly rock and roll with some of these kids here at the table with me. But we're going to talk about peer pressure. I want them to share with you guys the things that they've encountered when it comes to peer pressure, whether at home or at school or on the sports team, because we do know that y'all have experienced peer pressure across the world, right? Yes. From time to time, right? So before we dive in, I'm going to take a minute and let them introduce themselves to you guys and say hello so you'll know who's on my panel. I have some amazing kiddos here with me today. Well, I'm sorry, kiddos, teens. Y'all ain't young adults, but what should I call y'all? I want to call y'all kiddos. What should I call y'all? Kiddos. All right. We got a name. All right. These kiddos, they're going to talk to you guys and they're going to introduce themselves. So I'm going to let you go first and say hello to the people.
Hi, y'all. I'm Desiree T. I'm 17 and I love coloring.
I'm Jose T. I'm 14 and I like art.
Hi, I'm Desiree T. I'm 16 years old and I love to run track.
Hi, I'm Kariana T. I'm 13 and I like singing here.
Hi, I'm JoJo B. and I'm 13 and I like to play volleyball.
Hi, I'm Connor C. and I'm 11 and I like to play football.
Hi, I'm Kaden C. I'm 16 and I like to listen to music.
Hi, I'm Kamaya J. and I'm 11 and I like to do hair.
Kamaya, Kariana. We got some people in here that like to do hair. How many girls like to do hair? Woohoo! All right. How many of y'all like to do makeup? One person. All right, we can't forget the gentlemen's over here, so I know y'all like to play. You said you like sports. What do you like to do in sports?
Play football.
You like football? What about you? You like sports?
Basketball.
Do you like basketball? You look like a basketball player. you might make it to the pros. So if you make it to the pros, don't forget about Miss Felicia. All right. So this is my amazing panel today, y'all. We're going to be bringing them to the forefront once a month. So that we can just kind of talk about the different things that's going on in their world. Parents, I'm going to say this to you. I'm a licensed counselor. I work with youth and teens. I mentor them. I have numerous kids that come into me once a week, and I sit down at the table and I talk to them about the issues that they're facing and the things that they're going through and the things that they're dealing with, and we deal with it. I send them back home with homework, right, Cariana, right? I send them back home with homework, and I give you guys work to do so that you'll know how to become a productive, better student, a productive, better child, a productive, better sibling. I got teens that I mentor and coach that don't do well with their siblings at home, but I'm teaching them and showing them and giving them ways to work with their teens. I got teens that are dealing with grief. I got teens that have run away from home. I got teens that are dealing with identity crisis. And so the list can go on and on and on, but know that I'm here. Know that this is what this is all about. It's not to promote me. I really and truly want to make sure that our children's voices are heard. I want to make sure that I give them a safe haven. How many of y'all feel like this is a safe place? Mm-hmm. Right? I want them to have a safe place. I want them to have a safe place where they can come, sit down and talk to me and say, okay, Miss Felicia, I got to tell you something, but don't tell my mama. And I'm going to be like, all right, maybe not. But I want to just kind of see, and make sure that my youth and teens know that they can trust me. And that's important to me, right? So we're going to dive right in. Are y'all ready to talk about, this month's topic?
Yes.
This month's topic is on peer pressure. But before we go there, I'm going to pause for a second. Let's talk about this real quick. How important is this? Sitting at the table, sitting around on the floor. We're not at the table. Maybe we should y'all want to do a round table? Yeah. Or is this okay? Y'all want to do a round table? Couch. Okay, we're going to sit on the couch. We're going to do this every month. And so we're pushing this out once a week. But how important is this to you guys?
Well, I feel like this is really important because I feel like it lets allow people and kids to bring things to the table and express how they feel without feeling like it's like nowhere to go or this is a safe place for them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Anybody else? What do you think?
I also feel like this is important simply because, you know, people go through things and they might not always have somebody to talk to. Absolutely. And especially when you're younger, you would think like people don't really want to listen, and it gives them a chance to feel like their voice is heard and they are valid. And
I'm glad you said that. When you said people, I thought, okay, we all do, but you came back and you defined that. The younger kids, y'all, youth and teens go through things too, right? Y'all have problems, y'all have issues. Y'all have things that you go home and you go in your room and close the door and you cry, or you cry yourself to sleep, or you don't want to talk to anybody, you want to talk to mom, you don't want to talk to daddy. Just leave me alone. How many of y'all had those moments? Just leave me alone. Definitely. Anybody? Anybody? Have you had those moments where you just want to be left alone? Tell me about a time when you just kind of felt like the world was closing in on you.
It was just a lot going on, and I just wanted to like just be by myself because it was just too much going to school and having people talk, my mama yelling and all that. So just coming home and just to chill out and be by myself.
I get it. And so oftentimes do y'all find that being alone, being by yourself, closing that door? Now, we're not slamming doors in mama's and daddy's houses, right? We ain't slamming doors. That's what I teach them. We don't slam doors. But just coming home and going in the room and closing the door, should I say, does that give you a relief, some sense of relief?
Yeah. I mean, I would say yes, but then at the same time, it's like, I want to be able to talk to you.
Absolutely.
But
Or somebody, right?
But I feel like this is what's best thing by myself.
I get it. So, we're going to talk about this just a little bit and we're going to keep moving. But in those times when y'all felt like, I just really want to be left alone, is there another side of you that says, but I really want somebody to talk to?
Yes. All the time.
What do you think?
Well, sometimes I think sometimes we want to be alone, but also at the same time we want to talk to somebody and like tell them how we feel. We don't think it's like we can, but we just be alone to like try to cope with it ourselves.
Okay. I get it. I love it.
I agree.
Yeah. So that's what this is all about. So you're going to get a chance to hear all of this. They're going to talk about those times when they felt alone. And then they're going to hear about those times when they felt like, I just need somebody to talk to. And this is what this is about, guys. Like if we can just bring our babies to the table and let their voices be heard, we're saving a generation. And that's what's important to me. Okay, guys. As I mentioned, this month is peer pressure. Okay. I asked the question earlier. I'm going to ask it again. How many of y'all have ever experienced peer pressure? That would be me and y'all. So I thought about this one because I'm sure peer pressure is pretty hard on y'all at times. How would you define peer pressure? What would you say peer pressure is to you?
Well, I feel like peer pressure is when one may feel like they have to do something to maybe climb up on the social ladder or, you know, to feel like they're engaged and with other friends or to gain friends, gain popularity, anything of that sort.
I love it. Well, yeah, that's a good one. So typically when you're confronted with peer pressure, you're wanting to be accepted. How important is that to y'all? Have you gotten to that point now where it doesn't matter if people accept you or not? I'm 50 and I think I'm finally at a place where it doesn't matter. So for y'all, I'm sure that's important, right?
Yes.
What do you think? Is that important to be accepted at school?
I have a different opinion.
Well, I love it. Let's hear it.
I don't really honestly care about being accepted. If it's something I'm not comfortable with or I don't want to do,
High five to the coolest girl in the set. High five. I love it. And that comes with maturity, but by the same token, it comes with self-identifying, knowing who you are as a person, right? But we're all on different levels. And so that's okay. This is what this is about. This is about accepting each other for where we are. Who else has accepted, or actually had to deal with, peer pressure?
Well, I have.
You have?
Yeah.
Give me.
I've had to deal with peer pressure at school, like maybe doing something bad.
Meaning, like, so your friends was doing something and you felt the tugging to do it, or they invited you to come over and do it, or you just wanted to be a part of the crowd?
Like, really just wanting to be a part of the crowd for real, like, because, like, that's something I thought was cool.
Absolutely.
But, like, as I'm getting older, I'm understanding, like, it's not really working.
So, you know, and what you said was vitally important, because a lot of times, I'm sure on y'all's campuses, at school, at home, with your friends, y'all do date nights or whatever, you feel that pressure of wanting to be accepted.
Yeah.
You feel that pressure of wanting people to know, or your friends to know, hey, I'm just as cool as you are.
Yeah.
Right. And so you get involved into that type of peer pressure where you consent, and like you said, you wind up doing something bad, and then you regret it.
Yeah.
Most times, right? You regret it. So, that's peer pressure. I get it for y'all. Anybody else? How would you define peer pressure, Kariana?
I feel like peer pressure is like, can I give an example? I feel like at school, whenever I was like in person school, cause now I do like online, cause I'm trying to build like myself and like find who I really am.
You go girl. Can we give it up for Kariana? Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Find yourself, girl. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I had to do that.
Times, like, by myself at home. So I'm just like, okay, like, this is like who I am. And I'm learning new stuff about myself, every day. But, I feel like even online school, because all my assignments for like that week are due on every Friday. And that's hard because it's like 15 assignments and you want to do by Friday, and I only have like 4 days.
Right.
So it's just like, what do you want me to do? So then I get frustrated, and then I end up turning my assignments in late.
Gotcha. And that's pressure. That's pressure of meeting deadlines. That's pressure of doing homework assignments when, in essence, you would rather be outside bouncing the basketball or playing football or listening to music or doing hair. But the reality of it is, it's got to get done.
Yeah.
So y'all feel that pressure of, oh my God, I got to get this done by Friday. And then you're now feeling the anxiety, maybe, of trying to meet the deadline. And you shut down. Or you keep pushing, or you try to figure it out. And so that weight, Monday through Thursday, is on your life. You're dealing with that amongst everything else that you got to deal with. Peer pressure, right?
Yeah.
Anybody else? How do you feel? How do you define peer pressure?
I feel like you doing something that you're not comfortable with, just to like fit in with somebody or fit in with your friends that doing the wrong thing. And they want you to do it, so you can just be a part of that.
A lot of y'all are saying that on the same lines, that it's always about your friends. It's always about trying to fit in with them. And I gave an example. If we're all in the car and Kariana is the driver and Kariana decides to pull out weed, what are we going to do? Who's going to be the oddball in the car to say, I don't want to do this? You. I appreciate that. You. But there are others that are going to feel that peer pressure of saying, oh Lord, I'm in this car. If I don't do this, they're going to think I'm square. I'm not going to fit in. I really don't want to do this, right? Talk to me. Go ahead.
I feel like everybody needs a friend that's going to like, be able to conquer peer pressure and be the one to let them know like, hey, this is like getting us on the social ladder, but is it really worth that blink of an eye where your life could change?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I've been through times where we had to we was skipping class and stuff because they was telling we thought it was cool, but
absolutely
the days of detention and stuff, like it's honestly not worth it. And then you got on your conduct, and if you try to play sports, like if you try to play sports or something, it's honestly like it's gonna make your life hard.
To the other cool girl on the set. That's what I'm talking about. So I like how you put that in the sense that peer pressure is for y'all. It's just across the board trying to fit in. Or wanting to fit in without fitting out.
Yes.
When you think about this, has there been times when you may have felt like you didn't fit in and I like what you said, like you make your own decisions, but can one of y'all give me an example of a time where you wanted to fit in, you knew it was wrong and you had to make that tough decision. You don't have to tell me the scenario, but just give me an idea of how did that make you feel? Like, how did you toggle with right and wrong? Do it or don't do it?
I mean, it makes people feel like really like a disappointment, like they're not enough or they're not
fitting in.
Yeah, fitting in with, let's say the clique or the group or how everyone acts.
Right.
And I get that. Like that pressure part for y'all, I'm sure is hard. We as adults face peer pressure, believe it or not. Like there's a lot of things that we still have to deal with, even in 50s and 40s and 30s and 20 years of age, right? So as you grow up, you realize that some things are just never going to go away.
Yeah.
But it's how you deal with it. It's how you deal with it. And so I'm glad we've had this conversation because we're going to dive in a little more next week. We're going to talk a lot more next week about your peer pressure that you encounter at school. We're going to talk about those times that you've been in situations that you've had to make a choice between do I do it and do I not. But today was a really good opener. Like this was a good opener for us to know and understand what peer pressure means to y'all.
Yeah.
How you're going to deal with it maybe in the near future. And it's my hopes that now that we're having this discussion, whenever you're confronted with peer pressure again, you kind of think about this like, okay, I know I have to make better choices. Right? Absolutely. I know how to handle it now. We're going to talk about that too. That's a good one. Now that you said that, like, excuse me, when you think about peer pressure and you think about some of the choices that you've made, and I like to do this session. Everybody close your eyes. Everybody close your eyes. Think about this real quickly. I love doing this with my kids. And I just want you to think about an instance or a time when you encountered peer pressure and you made the wrong choice. You made the absolute bad choice. Y'all got it in your heads?
Yes.
This is what we call self-reflecting in counseling. So you self-reflect, right? So you got it in your head. You think about that time when you just made the absolute bad choice. For some of y'all, moms and dads found out about it. For some of y'all, it got you, she said it expelled from school. From some of y'all, you lost friends.
Yeah.
Right? Open your eyes. Let's talk about this. If you had the opportunity to do that all over again, what would you do different?
I think I would just say no.
Woo.
Say no. When I say no, I'm going to stand on that, and that's what I meant.
The most powerful word in the universe. No.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
No. How many of y'all use your nose? I love it. I appreciate it. How many of y'all need help using your no? I used to be that person. Absolutely.
Right.
No was the hardest thing in the world for me to say. And then I finally started saying no and it felt good. I was like, ooh, I like this word. Right? So that's a good one. Just learning to say no. Anybody else? Give me an instance. What would you have done differently?
Well, I would say I was at school And it was like my whole friend group, they wanted to skill, like, it was like what she said. They wanted to skill. And they was inviting me to do it with them. And I was like, do I want to do it and like still kind of like look cool? Or do I want to just say no and go to my class? Mm-hmm. And
what'd you do, girl? What'd you do?
I said no.
Yes, girl. Let's give it up for you. All right. That's a good instance. And I'm going to ask you this. How did it make you feel?
When I said no, it made me feel good.
Good.
But like, it was like when they like went on to do it without me, and they was like kind of like giving me a certain attitude.
Absolutely.
I was like, I don't even care no more.
Absolutely. Right. Absolutely. Right. You get to that point in life where you just don't care no more. All right. Another word is more, but you just don't care no more. Like you just don't care because people are going to always put you in positions to make choices sometimes that you don't want to make, and then they frown on you for making that choice. Right? And that's not fair. You have your own life to live. And if that's the one thing that I can share with you guys as we close the segment is that you have your own lives to live. Right. You are your own individual person. Don't let nobody tell you what to do when it comes to your life and the decisions that you make. Perhaps you can give me another instance. What would you have done differently?
Just like what y'all said, say no, because they were trying to leave school and like just go hang out somewhere else. Mm-hmm. Me going with them was a bad idea, so. You did it. Yeah.
I love it. So that's okay. You made that choice to go with them, and how was the consequences?
It was bad.
Okay. You don't even want to tell about it. You don't want to tell everybody your business. But you made a bad choice, right? And when you sit back and you think about that today, you're like, what was I thinking? I can only imagine, right? Like you said, people got involved, other people found out about it, and it put you in a bad position where in your heart of hearts, I know you told yourself, I know better.
Right.
I know better.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Right? Mm-hmm. Like, I know better. What was I thinking? And then you go home and you beat up on yourselves. And then you gotta hear mommy and daddy beat up on you. Well, you gotta feel mommy and daddy beat up on you. Right?
There's a lot of guilt.
Right. The guilt kicks in. All of that. Right? So, that's the thing, y'all. We're gonna keep talking about peer pressure. We're gonna finally realize that more than anything, you're going to have peer pressure, but it's how you deal with it that matters. So this is what this is all about. This is why we're doing this. This is why we're having this talk with you guys, because I want y'all to know the importance of your choices. Yes. I want you to know the importance of making good and bad choices. I'm glad you said what you said, because none of us always gets it right. Like, none of us are going to always make those right choices. Sometimes we're going to make bad choices. Right. Yeah. Sometimes we're going to make wrong choices. Sometimes we're going to feel like that pressure is so strong on my shoulders that I'm just going to go with the flow. I'm going to go with the crowd and deal with the consequences later. And I'm sure y'all have been in those situations like, you know what, bump it. I'm going to deal with it later. Yeah. Whatever happens, right?
Yeah, I do it a lot.
And so we're going to talk through that. We're going to talk through that these next 3 segments, because more than anything, I want you to walk away empowered.
Yeah.
I want you to walk away encouraged. I want you to walk away knowing that even though you may have made a bad decision, it's okay, right? It's okay. We're going to accept those bad decisions and we're going to make the best out of it. So this has been episode 1 of YMOC Speak. Are y'all excited?
Yes.
I am super, super excited. Like, this has been an amazing talk show. For the first segment, I would say this kicked off high. Let's go. Y'all ready? We're going to go higher and higher. But the first segment, I think, was amazing. Like, I think we did a very good job with y'all just coming to the table. Let's sit down and talk about the peer pressure and the things that you guys are confronted with. Our next episode, we're going to talk about peer pressure in school. I cannot wait for you to join us next week, because we're going to come back. We're going to talk about peer pressure. But my kiddos, that's the right word, kiddos, they're going to speak up, speak out, and speak about the things that they go through on a day-to-day basis.
Thank you for watching this episode of YMOC Speaks. Tune in next week for another deep discussion with our youth.